Alright. Last session, our heroes deftly maneuvered their way through the island temple, scaling across a dangerous pit trap atop a tree trunk, bashing their way past the swinging side blades, running like mad through a hallway of flying darts, and muscling their way through the gate at the end of a room with collapsing walls. The group found themselves face to face with a 10-foot-tall statue of an iron cobra. It bellowed at them in a language beyond their understanding, posing a query to which no one knew the answer. Each of them tried in turn to address the Guardian's query, but nothing seemed to satisfy it until Riswynn, drawing on her knowledge of religious ritual, repeated part of the query back to the Guardian, causing it to recede into a holding spot on the rear wall. The floor and ceiling split open, a stairway constructed itself before them, and they found themselves in an intriguing room with an ancient machine. Between Marzia's knowledge of Arcana, the book she acquired back in the port city of Cambridge, and some help from Clank, they activated the machine, sending a series of images projecting onto the wall in front of them. A snowy mountain vista, a village in a swamp, a stone platform in the middle of a jungle, and finally an ancient city. It was a gateway. The group sent Clank to inform Crazy Earl of their plan to use the gateway to escape. Not wanting to leave his newly acquired ship, and not wanting his crew to leave it either, whether they wanted to or not, Earl wished the group luck and continued on with the efforts to unbeach his ship and get underway. Reconvening in the gateway room, the group waited for the image of the ancient city to appear. Jumping through the gate, they were surprised to find themselves in the jungle instead. Had the gate malfunctioned? Was the pathway to the city blocked by a magical password? Did the gateway treat people differently than pieces of cooking sticks? No one knows. But now, deep in the Cassirian jungle, the group has to trek their way towards Akrotiri on foot, with nothing but their wits, their will, and their weapons. Welcome back to Stewardvale. Okay, so...
You grabbed that poking stick, right?
I still have the book.
Okay, we're gonna need it.
Well, you have half the poking stick. The other half is on a mountain somewhere.
That's it. Or used poking stick.
Then again, you're in a jungle, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find a stick somewhere. Roll anything but a 1 in your nature. Oh, look, you found a stick. Roll a 1 in your nature, you've fallen on the stick and it has impaled you. You still found a stick, it hurts now. Alright, so as the world comes back into focus, you guys find yourself on a large stone dais in the middle of a dense jungle. It appears as old and disused as the temple you just left. Ahead of you is a stone pillar, carved into which you found an indicator showing a direction, labeled with some markings that appear on many pages of the book, in a context that leads you to believe it's pointing the way to Akrotiri. At the base of the pillar, you can see similar stone bricks to the ones that made the road to the temple, but the path has long since been cleaned by the jungle. You can see which direction it goes now, but it begins to disappear into the underbrush. Clearly, nobody has been this way in quite a while.
Honestly, Darlene, I'm surprised.
Why is religion intelligent based?
That is a weird question.
Religion, intelligence.
You don't have to be intelligent to be religious.
That has been proved time and time again throughout history.
Lower the intelligence.
I thought it was wisdom based, yeah.
It seems counterintuitive.
That is odd.
Fucked up.
Well, it's because it's like a knowledge of religion,
sure.
right? It's not like how
religious
Your ability to
Yeah.
understand it is not dependent on your knowledge.
It's your ability to
That's
feel all the moves.
true. I know a lot of people who are very intelligent who know. I know a lot of people who are very intelligent who know a lot of things about different religions, and I know a lot of religious people who aren't terribly intelligent as well. So I think that this is literally just a knowledge check of what you know about religions.
Yeah, but wasn't religion like wisdom based before?
It used to be.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I guess.
It totes was. Considering wisdom is...
Well, wisdom is the religion ability.
So there's a lot of trees around here.
There are a lot of trees around here.
It's one big tree that's all around here.
Not in Marzia's world. In Marzia's world, there is a lot of trees around here.
Yes, but, I made the jungle, so it's the jungle of proper grammar.
I see.
So yes,
There are a lot of trees.
there are a lot of trees. What would you guys like to do?
There are trees.
The path does go in 2 directions, despite the fact that you think that the proper direction is that way.
There's an indication.
There's an indication.
This symbol, I'm pretty sure, indicates Akrotiri. So,
There's like a fork in the road with like signs saying Akrotiri.
Pretty much.
Basically.
That's what I said.
Yeah, good God.
Like,
Like old school, like cartoon, like things playing this way.
Yes, but in a stone obelisk. Basically.
Well, that just sounds cool. I'm talking about the crap ass little sign like the Looney Tunes cartoon.
Are you expecting like Beastie to come out and like rotate?
Yes, exactly. Spin it on its head. Alright. Oh, it was almost a head desk. Sad.
A lot of campaign.
I know.
Well, we're off where we need to be, but we're still close enough that we can walk.
Well, we don't know that for sure. This could mean it's an entire continent away. We just know it's left, right?
Well, it's not like we have any mode of
But
transportation, so I think we're walking.
I guess we don't have much of a choice.
You can fly.
There are no
Not that far.
getting through the jungle in the book.
I can fly so far, and then I just plummet.
Are there any maps in the book that contain jungle?
All of the maps contain jungle, unfortunately.
Okay.
There aren't maps as much as there are pictures of various different landmarks. So instead of being like a little map with a line that says you'll find a big stone outcropping here, it's literally somebody sat down and like artfully drew the big rock outcropping. So if you see it, you're going to be like, I know that. I've seen that. That's on that page in the book. Yeah, like the whole 9 yards. It looks like, some monks or something sat there for ages drawing this
Landmarks.
shit. Yeah.
It's like the Eldorado map.
So you could probably guess by the progression through the book of, okay, the stone outcropping came before the big tree, so if we got to the big tree, we're probably further along, you know what I mean? But it's still maybe a guess. This is an ancient book written in a language that none of you read.
Well, if the signpost says that way,
Yeah.
I guess we're going that way.
It definitely indicates that there's something that way. It indicates something else in the other direction. You don't see that symbol anywhere that you recognize.
Translation: certain death after Tyrion.
This certain death map looks awesome.
So here's religion. You have picked up knowledge about gods, religious traditions and ceremonies, divine effects, holy symbols, and theology. The knowledge extends to information about undead in the astral sea, including creatures of that plane. If you have selected the skill as a trained skill, your knowledge represents academic study, either formalized or as a hobby, and you have a better chance of knowing esoteric information in this field. So yeah, that's why it's intelligence based.
Because it's studied.
It's a field of study.
Yeah, it's the exact same as Arcana, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. Because Arcana is all knowledge-based.
Arcana's all good.
Yeah. Arcana's pretty much the knowledge of magic, not the practitioner of it. It's what you know of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take it that you guys are all going to attempt to follow the trend.
Yes.
So
It's the only clue we have, so it kind of makes sense.
I know, but you guys could have been like, I climbed a tree to look around, I do a nature check, I do this, I do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm opening the floor in case you guys want to try to throw a skill out there to see.
We'll do that on the path.
Sure, okay. Alright, you follow the trail as best you can, hacking your way through the forest with your weapons as you go. The tall trees offer protection from the direct sun, but it's of little relief. It's bloody hot anyway, and the humidity is through the roof. I wrote this before I knew what the weather was. You trek along for a few hours until you finally see a break in the trees and the blue of the sky. As you approach, you find yourselves at the edge of an escarpment, a steep precipice that drops straight down into rapids below. As you look across the chasm, you see the other side about 50 feet away. To your left, when you look down the distance, you can see a bridge. That's a good 100 feet away, but there's no direct path along the edge to there, so you would hack your way through the jungle again to get there.
Okay.
It seems to, from where you're standing, it seems to be the only way across, short of rappelling down, finding a way across the rapids, or trying to grab it out of the
Slightly across. How rickety does the bridge look?
From here, rickety.
Oh, good.
From up close, ricketier.
Even from far, it looks rickety.
Yeah.
From up close, touch. Just falls.
Well then.
How far across is it if we wanted to throw a grappling hook or
50
something?
feet. So I did actually look up, if you guys are interested, on how hard of a throw that is. So throwing a grappling hook successfully requires an athletics check. It starts a DC of 10 plus 2 for every 10 feet of distance. So the DC, just for your own knowledge, but I mean obviously your characters will interpret this as, that's a long distance or whatever. It's a DC of 20 to throw a grappling hook across.
And to have it actually hook on to something?
Yes. It's presumed that if you succeed in making the throw, that you hooked it on.
So we're looking, it's like a 50-foot gap then, pretty much?
Yeah, 50-foot gap. Now, you look down below, there is a river with rapids, but there is actually, a bit of land on each side, so if you decide you want to rappel down and find a way across, then there is something to rappel down to. You don't rappel down into the rapids.
How tall are the trees?
Can we solve this problem by chopping down trees?
Well, considering the fact that it was pretty much so thick that you couldn't see the
Yeah,
sky.
this is an ancient Cassarian jungle. Who knows how tall the trees
It depends on what kind of trees they are.
That's what I mean, yeah.
They're friggin' trees.
Are they trees? They could be
watch out for
considered
hydras. Yeah. The trees that would be anywhere near that tall are
Like more
like redwoods, basically.
So we're not chopping this down with Allie's axe.
No, you're not chopping it down with Allie's axe. Well, not unless you want to take a week and do it. You could, but yeah, no. Everything else is shorter.
Ruckus has headed off towards the bridge. These guys are just like, Ruckus like, bridge.
Okay, so you're sort of making your way through the jungle again.
I'm an orc. Plants get out of my way.
Well, it's really thick underbrush. We're talking like.
He's got two. Are they hammers or are they axes?
Hammers.
Yeah. I guess you could beat the grass into the ground.
The other thing is, there are like
Tenderize the brush.
like thick vines and bushes and thistles and stuff. So yes, you're making your way through. But even with Ruckus being like a giant path clearing machine, it's slow going. Allie's having a little bit better time with her axe because it's a giant fuck-off bladed weapon. Clank's having a decent time with his blade, and
Strum.
Happy music.
Chop that brush.
Alright, okay, so you guys, you make it about 25 feet into the brush. I want you to roll perception.
Everybody?
Everybody.
I'm trained. Well, there's a natural 20.
So that's like a 21.
Was it really an
Yep, okay.
Yes, I rolled a natural 20 with my perception.
I rolled a 20 total.
Sorry. Okay, you rolled a natural 20 and you rolled a natural 20.
No, yes.
So I rolled a 21 modified.
I rolled an 8 modified.
23 modified.
20 modified.
Yeah, but we get, it's just funny that there's a natural 20 and a natural 1 sitting side by side. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay, so...
we only work on extremes.
Extreme! Okay, so, Clank, you're walking along and you hear something. You move, a dart flies past your head and hits Ruckus in the back of the head.
Pygmies!
Okay,
Names.
Ruckus, you are now under the effect of slowed. Everybody else, you turn around, obviously because you need to see what's going on, and
Someone updates their Facebook. One of the pygmies updates his Facebook. You hear it.
LOL, just got some green bastard in the back of the neck. A selfie of him.
Okay.
The next picture is just Ruckus.
You turn around, and in the distance, you see at least a half dozen humans up in trees and hiding amongst the bushes. Their tanned skin is covered with paints in red, yellow, white, and black. They have necklaces and adornments made from teeth, bone, feathers, and reeds. Some of them are brandishing machetes, and others are holding javelins or dart tubes. They do not look friendly.
I thought you said we weren't having combat.
No, it's a skill challenge. Skill challenge, escape the natives.
Escape? That doesn't sound like us.
There's a lot of them.
Well, you got.
How many of them is there?
Lots.
Well, then I will say skill challenge natives. If you guys want to turn it into a combat, you're welcome to do so. I actually did roll up stats for them, figuring that you guys might do that. So
how many natives are there, did you say?
You see at least 6, and the ones you see, you're like, okay, yeah, there's one over there. Like, there are at least 6 of them. Probably more. Some of them are up in the trees to varying degrees, up to say, some of them like more than 10 feet, 15 feet up.
Oh, just knock them down on the tree, they'll die.
If we roll one on the right pass.
Okay. Where the turn marker is?
They do have a power code, Words of Friendship.
You have a power called Words of Friendship?
Yeah, it's a minor encounter.
Is that like happy dance or whatever you guys call it?
The friendship dance.
Friendship dance.
Friendship
In
dance!
fact, you gain a +5 power bonus to the next diplomacy check you make before the end of your next turn.
Excuse me, natives!
Hello?
Have you seen any dragonborn?
I made a poster of that.
I saw it.
No, it's the subtext. It's the sub that she's doing. She's like making the noise, and it's like, excuse me, gentlemen, have you seen any Dragonborn lately?
Hello.
What did you say? I think I said hello.
Have you seen any temples?
There's a great man in Canada is its name. I think he means the village.
I think he means those houses.
It's gonna be like that.
Okay, well, what we'll do then is we'll roll it, and you guys can decide. We'll start it as a skill challenge, turn it into a combat. Ruckus, you are up first. You see...
So someone threw a dart in the back of my neck.
Yes.
They look like barbarians that are trying to be orcs.
I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to bouncy.
Now, you are slowed, so keep in mind the effect for slowed is... basically...
It's probably written on one of your sheets.
Slow is, I have 2 movement.
On the right.
Yes, your movement...
I'm gonna try and get a count of them. Just turn around my hulking massive size, squint my eyes at them, and try and count exactly how many are hiding in the bush. Just to get a better idea of whether or not I'm going to turn and smash them all, or, there's just a few too many for my maces to handle right now. That's 1 again.
We're
Just angry.
Yeah, you
Look
look
at number.
Yes, you are angry, and it doesn't matter. All you have hear in your ears is kill them.
Kill them all! I'm frothing.
There must have been something in that jar.
I gotta open up a page here so that I can track.
Is there any power left?
Take that Coke Zero and that's when you're up.
What do you need?
I need it. It's on the right.
Here, take the Coke Zero.
Code 0.
Yeah.
Is there generic cola there too? Is there, Jim?
Yes, there's generic cola.
Generic cola is also good. Or is that you guys bringing that to the?
If you want to take it home, go ahead.
It's all yours.
You guys are like
No. We're grand wars. What do you expect?
Alright.
Oh, we're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Marzia, you see a dart fly past Clank and then impale itself into Ruckus's neck. Ruckus turns around and just growls with anger at the people in the trees.
I'm gonna attempt to pacify him.
That's right, Ruckus.
Yes.
Okay.
They're just stupid. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know, man.
They don't know any better, man. They don't know better.
Okay.
Blood,
Pacify away.
death, and vengeance.
Diplomacy. 13.
Alright. Yeah.
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so you're trying to calm Ruckus down.
I'm holding him back.
You're trying to get him.
Oh God!
How's that work?
Just someone hanging onto his shoulders.
It's okay, Ruckus.
Yeah.
Don't worry, big guy. It's alright. Why am I being dragged? I'm here. I'm not in the ground anymore.
I feel weightless.
I'm so wasted.
I'm so wasted.
I'm gonna do my human
Give me
being
the
call.
Oh, yeah. Okay, actually, I like Allie's description of that. Basically, you go up to him and you're like, no, don't charge after them.
It's okay, big buddy. We can do this. Better.
Yes, Ruckus is not listening. He is far from, he's far from wanting to listen to you. That your attempts are not helping to calm him down, and as you make that attempt,
Ineffective.
yes, as you make that attempt, another dart flies past your head.
You know what?
Riswynn! Alright, Riswynn, so you see the scene unfolding in front of you.
It's getting bad. It's getting bad fast.
It is getting bad. It is getting bad fast, yes.
am going to use my perception to get a count of how many potential hostiles we have around us.
Sure. Hopefully better than Jim.
Not much.
Add your, what there?
12.
Oh, we are rolling poorly.
Yes. Rolling badly tonight.
Alright. So, you start looking around to try and get a count, and they realize that you guys have turned around and they're watching you, and so 2 javelins and a dart miss you, but in all the commotion, you can't take a time to sit there and count.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, crap. Oh, you duck behind a tree, you're like, freak, where was it? Did I count that guy already? I don't know. Guys, there's like 1 million of them out there.
That was uncalled for.
So yeah.
If anybody's stroking beards back there, we're going to have words.
Yes. Your count is too many.
Alright.
Yes.
I like them odds.
Clank, you're up.
Well, I don't think I dare do a perception check. Okay, so what's between us and these chattering natives?
Just jungle, basically. They're about, depending on which one, 10 to 15 feet. 10 to 15.
I did say I'm slow.
But what's the range? What's the range of general range weapons? It's 10 squares, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know what a blowgun is.
No, but I mean, just your regular, like, a bow is like 15, 30 or something like that.
Yeah.
A javelin, something like 5.
Something like 5.
5, 10.
Alright,
Yeah.
so the closest
Not
guys...
through a jungle, though.
Yeah, they've got line of sight, but,
Yeah, you would have everybody doing a ranged attack in the jungle would have some form of concealment. Basically.
okay, well that's why they're missing you guys, but they can still throw that distance.
Yes, you can know that distance.
Yeah.
It's just not accurate.
Right. So the closest guys are the guys on the ground, hiding behind bushes. They're the ones throwing the javelin. They're 5 squares away. The further guys are, between 8 and 10 squares away. They're up in trees. Well, 8 to 10 diagonal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to count their how far up in the air. So they're 2 squares up and say 6 to 8 squares back in the distance. So there's a decent amount of distance, and it is. What do you call it, rough terrain, so the movement speed is half through the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But so is theirs. So you don't think that they can close the gap in a turn.
Right.
But they have ranged weapons, so you guys can...
Yes, we do second best. Alright, well, I'm going to attempt to use my intimidate skill to scare them off.
Alright.
So I shout and bellow and make myself look tall or whatever.
They're
not bears.
They look scarier than Ruckus, who's just growling at this point.
6.
So this is
So that is a 14.
Wow. That is a 14. Okay. Okay. So you take a step forward, not enough to be like a whole square forward, but enough to put you ahead of the rest of the folks. And you bellow out towards them, basically threatening. You don't want to mess with us. You better turn around. You're basically trying to make threats at them. They see that you're making a lot of noise, but they don't seem to stop their assault.
Whether or not this is a skill challenge, we are failing like mad. It is going to be combat.
At this point. Alright. Okay. That and that. Alright, Clank, one of the javelins hits you in the shoulder, and you take 5 damage. I don't think they're intimidated.
They don't seem to be terribly
They are not terribly intimidated. So, round 2. Starting with Riswynn. Riswynn, Clank has made an attempt to intimidate, and
he got shafted.
he literally got the shaft. You might want to think of... Are you going to get into Ruckus?
Probably not. Does anyone like that I can see look like their leader per se? Like the one that's giving the commands?
This won't be your skill roll, but just roll another perception. I just want to...
20.
Oh, okay. So you look around the tree, and you don't seem to see a definite leader, but you can tell that the guys in the front definitely seem to be, they're more...
holding like the most sway in the group, I guess.
Yeah, you get the feeling that if the ones in the front got hurt, the ones in the back might be like, fuck this, we're out. You know what I mean? Just because they seem to be... They're more... ornately adorned than the ones up in the trees, is what you picked out of that.
And how close are the ones in the front?
What did I say, 5? Yeah. They're 5 squares away. So 10 squares of movement.
Are they up in the trees, or are they standing like around the brush?
The close ones, they're on the ground, hiding behind like tree trunks and bushes and things.
Okay. Am I allowed to use a skill I'm not trained for in this?
Oh yeah, you're always allowed to use what you want, and if it doesn't make enough sense, I will, just say, try something else.
I'm going to walk up, put my axe on the ground, and use diplomacy to try to talk to the leader guys.
Okay, how far forward are you going to walk to do that? Well, your movement will get you...
My movement's only 5.
Your movement's 5, so you
go 2 squares.
You go 2 squares forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just set my weapon down so I'm not a threat type thing.
Yep.
And then I'm going to try to use diplomacy to diffuse the situation.
Give it a shot.
Which is possible.
I mean, anybody can attempt to be diplomatic. Let's see.
14.
14. Okay, so you make your way through the brush. You make a big... You make a big show of taking your axe and putting it down. You point to it, and then you do sort of the American tourist thing where you speak common loudly but more slowly, hoping that they're going to understand you.
Yeah.
And you're like, "We're peaceful people. We don't mean you any harm." You're doing
here is savages.
Yeah, and you're thinking that you're doing a pretty good job of what you're doing.
I am.
Until you get hit with a dart. Basically, you're talking to the guys up front. The guys up front are... Once you take the dart, you realize they're not stopping to pay attention. They're stopping to take aim. Mm-hmm. The guys up in the trees, they aren't even waiting, and you now have a hail of darts. One has hit you. You are now also slowed. Okay, so...
Well,
yeah.
I can technically activate my cape at this point.
Okay, sorry, what was it? Cape of the, what was it?
Cape of the Mountebank. It allows me to teleport to whoever the fuck I please.
You definitely could do that.
Pass it over? That's definitely not.
It's pretty much when I get hit, I'm allowed to teleport 5 squares.
That's useful.
I said peace.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You use this power when you're hit by an attack, teleport 5 squares and gain combat advantage against the attacker until the end of your next turn. If you would like to, it does say an immediate reaction. Yeah, you can, I'll let you use that teleport. Now this is, hold on.
How many teleports we got in this crew anyway?
He gave it to me, I never had one to begin with.
Protein teleport. And Ruckus.
I forgot about your teleport, you bugger.
Yeah.
No, it is daily.
Yes, it is. I'm well aware of that. I never use it unless I need to type thing.
Right.
It's the kind of thing where I want to pretty much be like, okay. At the same time, I grab the egg off the ground and pretty much put the guy's neck when I teleport to him. Be like, you need to stop this now, or your head comes off, and your buddies can't stop that.
You get teleported into a tree because the people in the
tree. Okay, so because the people with the blow darts are in the tree, so you're getting teleported into the tree. But I'm going to say that because it's a magical power, you get your.
She teleports 5. She doesn't teleport to the person who hit her.
Yes, it says right on it. Teleport to the attacker.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I guess the attacker.
No, it says, use this power when you are hit by an attack. Teleport 5 squares and gain combat advantage against the attacker It doesn't say to teleport to the attacker.
Like, I pretty much want to teleport to the guys that are in charge and put my blade at the guy in the middle's neck and be like, you need to call your guys off at this point, because if I can hit again, your head's coming off. Wow. The ultimate intimidate, pretty much.
Okay,
if that will be allowed.
Well, yes, I'm definitely going to allow you to use it because it is an immediate reaction power. It is a daily that you're burning, so you're not going to get to use it later. I just have to decide how that's going to affect the skill challenge. And
They have magic!
No, more like, you know...
give people
does she
plus
get,
one
does she
or...
get an entire extra roll or something, or did they get a... Okay. So... You teleport over to one of the guys in the front line.
Yeah. Pretty much one of those adorned guys.
Right. You grab him, spin him around, and you have the axe at his throat loaded. So basically you could just pull and slash.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the end of him.
Right, and that's the end. Absolutely. That wouldn't even be... you'd have to be careful not to nick yourself in the process because...
I'm probably used to that.
Well, you don't tend to take people's heads off like this. You
No,
yes. But yes. All right. So immediately. Hold on. Let's find out. All right.
Shoot the hostage.
So you teleport over. You grab the guy. You spin him around. You put it to his neck, and you're like, "Stop! We want to talk." You know.
Yeah, pretty much like yeah.
Yes, they definitely perceive that as a sign of strength. Okay. All right. So the three that were close to him immediately backtrack into the woods, and the ones up in the trees let loose a volley of darts.
I use him as a shield.
Let's see.
He can cover all of me!
Yes.
That's true.
For power.
For power!
First she kicks out his legs so she can use him as for the lady.
It's now officially a tower shield!
I'm going to make you roll for it. I'm just going to
Yes.
be the best. That's sort of, I guess,
Athletics.
Yeah. Roll in athletics.
For I'm not a Viking. Can I use an acrobatics for that instead, actually? Because it is sort of like crazy maneuvering.
Contortioning.
Yeah, contortionist at that point.
If you wanted to do the dodge yourself, yes, but in this case, you're moving him to intercept. So if you wanted to change it around and be like shit, drop him and duck and roll or whatever, yeah, you could acrobatics, but then you lose your hostage.
I'll try the athletics.
I'm sorry, all I'm picturing now is he gets like 40 darts in and his pupils like as the drugs kick in to overdose.
Dear God.
Yeah.
It's
He
terrible.
may not survive this.
11.
So that is 12. My athletics is crap.
Are you guys level 2 or 3?
2.
Okay.
We're also rolling like
Yeah.
very sadly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because acrobatics away from 20.
Alright, so, and Ruckus, when it comes back to your turn again, you can save against your score.
I rolled a 19.
Or is it at the end of
At the end of your turn.
Yes, I forgot to mention that save ends.
Yes.
Okay, so Riswynn, you do manage to get this guy impaled with enough darts that he's not walking away from here. Unfortunately, in the process, you do take a second dart yourself. You are now, you don't roll saves against your slow, you're rolling saves against sleeping.
Okay.
So, basically you're starting to, or is it sleep or is it, going unconscious?
Yeah.
So, these saves, just for your own, thing, they're gonna be in...
Oh, wait, hang on a minute. I'm a dwarf. I might have an actual, resistance or some sort.
War resilience.
Yeah.
Plus 5 bonus saving throws against poisons.
Oh, that'll be good.
Nice. Okay. That'll be helpful. Alright, cool.
That'll help with your shitty rolling.
That's good. So, your save against, the save that you would have been making would have been just like a plus minus 10, like 10 above and below.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're saving against unconsciousness, it's become a DC of 13. But I mean, still with your +5, you probably don't give a fuck.
Hopefully.
So that ends your turn. I would roll your
Yep.
save and see what you end up with there.
Jesus.
Could you roll a 3?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was on a freaking 19.
19, wow.
Welcome to my die. It's like 91.
So you failed one save against. Okay.
I'm getting drowsy.
Hey guys.
I just stop playing that damn lullaby.
Clank, you're up. So you've just seen Riswynn take a dart, go move forward, try to do the diplomatic thing, take a dart and be like, fuck it, pick up the axe, teleport forward, grab a hostage, have 3 guys go shit, and like go back into the bush, and then hail of darts. This guy became a human pincushion, but she took another one in the neck.
So how far away are all these jackasses from me at this point now?
I only moved up.
Yeah, she moved up 5, so the one she's got hostage is 5. The other guys have only managed to move 1 square away because it's rough terrain, so they're now at 6 mark. And the other guys in the trees are, if you count, I think the trees are at 5 and they're up 2, or that's 6 and they're up 2. So they're all within 10.
I'll say these humans are very bad at being orcs.
Yes. Damn fake orcs.
Yes, orcs, and then.
Orc.
Curse my lack of ranged abilities.
Yep, it's like I'm the only ranged person in the party.
I have like 1 ranged attack. That crazy throwing sword magic thinger.
Which teleports someone to you.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, it does. Alright, well, can I see one of these guys hucking darts?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, were you the one who rolled the 20 perception
Yeah.
at the beginning?
21.
20 natural.
Yes.
Then yes, you can see the ones under the trees fairly clearly.
Alright, well, I'm going to use my my Face Strike Kopesh. So I'm going to use the encounter power on it, where it discharges a shimmering mirror of itself that flies towards the enemy, and I can make a really basic attack.
Sounds like a plan. Pull it up.
Alright. 3. So my melee basic attack is reasonably good, but not that likely to be that great. So that is a 13.
So many 3s.
So many
Time.
Okay, so
I'm also going to move my movement forward.
before or after?
I don't know. I throw my sword and then move.
Sure. Okay, so you hold up your Kopesh and you make a forward slashing motion. As you get to the apex of the forward motion, a magical shimmering light comes from the Kopesh. It duplicates itself, and the second one takes off, and the original one staying in your hand, you can see it in the swing. The one that flies up hits one of the fellows up in the trees. You actually did manage to hit him. You can do your turn.
Well, actually, it teleports him to me.
Oh, okay.
So,
A very surprised-looking, dart-wielding native disappears from the tree and teleports right in beside you.
yeah, so it puts him adjacent to me, so I'm going to put him, I don't know, whatever's advantageous. Basically, I'll put him as in front of Ruckus as is possible while still being adjacent to me.
Yeah, okay. Right. So, 2. Oh, you got to make a melee basic attack.
That was the melee basic attack to teleport them to him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, the melee basic attack was
Hit.
to shoot, was the shot,
Right,
and it hit him.
right, but it doesn't do damage, it just teleports.
No, it hits him. It does damage. I made a melee basic attack. It's just a ranged melee basic attack.
Oh, okay. Alright, so when your magical shimmering Kopesh hits him, He disappears and teleports right next to you between you and Ruckus, and collapses in heat.
As a corpse.
As he collapses in heat.
The metal man steal their souls!
Yeah. So, yeah. The other guys up in the trees, they look surprised but not scared of what just
If
happened.
there's a corpse, I'm not going to bother using the teleportation facet of the power.
Okay.
Because if he dies when I hit him, that's a separate ability that I have to activate. It's not the same. It's not part of the same ability.
Okay, the throwing of the magical sword you can do as like an at-will
Encounter.
Yeah, it's an encounter power.
And then
And then the teleportation is a daily free action.
Okay, so he
So
falls
if he
off.
had not died, I could teleport him.
Very good. Okay, he falls off the branch. Blah blah blah. So yeah, they just
Will
see you
scream?
throw a Ah! All right. So
I'd actually never caught the Will Scream in Star Wars until they did the whole...
there's a Will scream in Star Wars. Oh yeah.
3 or 4 of them. Darth Will the third.
Ruckus.
Yeah, these guys speak my language, so I'm going to be just knocking over any tree that's in my way while just marching towards them. Yeah, pretty much.
No, is it a charge or you?
It's a charge.
All right, and your normal movement is 7.
6 plus 2 when I'm charging.
Or no, it's double when
When you're doing double movement, you get double. Pretty much my movement speed, because I'm charging, is 8.
So you can go 4 squares and almost get there.
Yes, and then I can decide to use my standard action as another move.
Fair enough. Okay, so use your move action, you get in there.
There's no diplomacy in Ruckus right now.
No diplomacy.
He's doing things the orc way because these are barbarians, and barbarians understand one thing: strength.
Fair enough. Okay. Alright, and then, so that's your...
Yep.
It's weird because we're sort of combining combat and skill challenges. So yeah, weird little... Alright. Your movement, your standard as a movement, you have a minor, do you have anything you want to do with your minor?
One of your athletics just to knock down a tree on my way there because I'm angry. No, I'm good. Just the Terminator charge.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Marzia, you're up.
I want to intimidate them. Now that everybody else has done some damage.
You want to intimidate them, okay.
I told you not to mess with us!
Yes. I flip them the bird in all the languages I know. Consider it. 16 intimidation.
In Elven, she says your mother was a dwarf. In Dwarven, she says your mother was an elf. You know.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Makes the gestures.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you take a step forward, and you know that really loud whistle that people can do where they put their fingers in their mouth and curl their tongue, and it's just like, you give it, and it goes, like you can hear it echoing off things, and it gets all of their attention. And
You die of hail bullets.
I see you guys.
I'm a fruity elf, bitch.
You don't know what you.
so once you get their attention, you start yelling. In sort of,
Pigeon English.
You're sticking to common. You realize that they probably don't speak your language, so you're not going with what you're saying. You're going with how you're saying it.
Loud noises.
I really love your hair.
Where did you get it?
Your mother is a classy lady.
So yes, you are yelling top of your lungs, and you even throw in some. What's that like sort of big noise that the jihadists make?
Ululation.
You throw in some of that. Basically, what you're doing is you're making noise that are saying, we're not backing down, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check yourselves.
Yes.
Before I wreck yourself. Gangsta Jack.
All right. Riswynn.
You successfully had them dispatch one of their own leaders.
Yes, I am that amazing.
The guy in your arms
Is he dead?
has gone limp. Yes.
Alright.
Well, if he's
not even him anymore.
If he's not dead, at the very least, he is super unconscious and total dead.
Okay, so when I toss the side, his head just happens to hit a rock, and I was dead.
No, you toss him off the cliff.
Cliffs of insanity!
So you have.
Can I use my endurance to will the friggin' person away?
No.
You can do a heal check.
What I can.
Tell the poison, bad poison.
Exactly.
You flex it out your system?
I flex it out my system.
I will.
Fucking doors.
Alright, how about this? Because you're a dwarf,
You can drink the poison!
That's a no.
I replace my blood with alcohol just to solve the poison dilemma.
I was thinking.
I could use my radiant vengeance to hurt somebody and heal myself.
Endurance can't be used now. It's just going to be your saving throws, which you already get a plus.
Okay, then, I'm near the guys that have the blood darts.
No, you're near the three other guys with the javelins and
Oh, the Skedaddly dudes.
And you're slow.
yeah, and you're slow.
Oh.
So you can.
You're
They're only one square away, so you can move within melee range of one of them this turn, even though you're slow.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Sleepily lumber towards them and chop them.
It's a big axe. You hold it above your head and let go.
So are we mixing combat with the skill challenge?
Yeah. So basically, at this point, you can.
So I'm gonna go with that one guy on the right,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna blind pursue him so if he does get away from me, he goes right back to me.
Disney-ish.
Alright, well, roll it. Basically what I'm doing at this point for combat related things, like you can either choose a skill, justify it, go with it, or you can choose a combat action and go with it, but if you fail your attack, it's going to count as a failure in the skill challenge, which is fine, because that means, you guys all have pretty high
How complex the skill challenge is this?
You guys kind of mixed, so I'm just rolling with it.
We made it complex.
Yeah, we really did.
Yes. It's not actually that bad. You all still take turn order, it's just the turn order changes every time. I am still rolling for the other guys.
Actually, instead I can use my acrobatics, pretty much ninja leap, and land in front of the guy. Cutting him off.
While you're slowed?
Well, I'm slowed.
You can only one square in difficult terrain.
He's still within range, so you can still...
So I can still technically ninja flip, but then he's still in range.
Yeah. Do you want to turn it into like a...
No, I use my acrobatics pretty much to cut him off. Instead of doing an attack, I'm going to use acrobatics to cut him off so he can't go any further because I'm in front of him.
Okay, so you're basically closing the distance with
Yeah.
style. Do you want
With style, exactly.
Do you want to say that you're also, like, when you get there, you're going to grapple him so he doesn't leave?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll try my best to grapple him.
Yes.
I've gotten...
You are good guy.
Best him ever.
Slump at his feet.
I'll try that and see what happens.
Don't roll a 1, because then you face fault.
I'm so good at this! It's the best day ever. Let's leave the jungle.
Dwarven napping strike.
4 plus
9.
13.
Why did you just walk?
This one is some style.
No, it is, and I would have made it cool. Okay, so you try to, you plant your feet, and you basically try to spring forward and grab the guy so that he doesn't get...
I wasn't half asleep, it totally would work.
Well, actually, you get a really good footing. You get a really good spring for someone who's slowed, but one of the guys up in the trees throws down a net.
They just net me?
They just netted
Those
us.
sons of bitches!
You take 5 damage.
My one weakness. A small net.
You take 5 damage, and you are now restrained.
No!
Restrained reads as creature can't move unless it teleports. It can't even be pulled, pushed, or slid. It takes a -2 penalty to attack rolls and grants combat advantage.
So I get a save now, right?
For sleepiness.
Yes, saving against sleepiness. Add your +5.
There! 20! I'm no longer sleepy because I have a net on me.
Wow. Okay. So now, for flavor, I'm going to say your dwarven endurance and resilience. You just,
Kicks in finally.
Yeah, you basically do the equivalent.
Walk it off.
Yeah, poison and walk it off.
Wait a minute, I'm a fucking dwarf.
So how can you get out of the restraint thing? Is it like a
Can you use thievery to get out of
You
it?
can use thievery, you can use acrobatics, you can use athletics, depending on the DC.
Oh, I guess acrobatics is true.
Acrobatics is the ability to
Look how talking in that. But
a tiny bit.
yeah, I'm gonna say when it comes around to your turn again, you can attempt to
To get out, yeah. Well, I'll have to. I'll be like, you can do it, guys! Just see in my net!
okay.
Give me power! Don't
Normal
fuck it up!
forces draft can all cause conditions. A condition imposes a penalty, a vulnerability, a hindrance, or a combination of effects. The remove affliction ritual can be used for eliminating long-lasting conditions that affect you. Okay.
So this next person is Marzia.
Marzia, you're up. You were being all intimidated.
Were they intimidated?
They were not intimidated.
I see. Maybe I should back up my intimidating.
With simplicity.
No, listen. I back up my intimidation with vicious mockery.
Okay.
One of the ones in the trees. 17 versus will.
Okay.
I was always scared about this.
Your mother was an answer.
How does your thing read? Yeah, your
It does
a string
damage.
of insults at your foe. Using with bardic magic to send the creature into a mad rage.
It's a psychic attack.
It's
Okay.
for 10 damage.
Yeah. So
For lethal damage.
you noticed that last time the whistle definitely was something that they acted like they'd never heard anything like it before.
Yep.
And so you're like, I'm gonna go that way. So you channel all of your energy into another whistle, and you basically stare down a guy and you look at him and you go, I'm coming to get you. And you're, my phone's apparently ringing right next to the mic.
Your phone.
Hello, John here. Perfect, John here. Wow, okay, I'm DMing a campaign. It's Jen's turn, and I apparently can't get my own name right. That was great. Alright, hold on, I'm just gonna... And we're back. Alright. Right in the middle of the strange skill combat challenge thing.
Scombat.
Combat challenge thing.
Yes, so I zapped the dude by insulting his mother.
Yes, he hears this intense ringing sound inside his head. He reaches up to cover his ears and falls out of the tree and dies. Because, well...
That's how piercing my whistle was.
Yes. Okay, next up.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah,
Did you take the bathroom?
and back, yes. So, what is that?
That's the blackberry. It's probably Tom.
Is the Tom talking to you?
Possibly.
So we'll use another D4 and find that D4 is a good one.
You'll find it when you step on it.
D4
That's
is
what
the
you
worst
find
for that.
D4s.
Yes.
With your twins. Or do they need 10 or get a new party first?
Not with the olive branch, but with the bayonet.
Exactly.
I guess you. So you have moved all the way and closed the gap between you and one of the javelin guys on the front lines.
Yeah, I'm gonna bench press and throw him off the cliff.
Okay, you're trying to throw somebody 6 squares.
That'd be 30 feet.
Yeah, you're trying to pick up a person and throw them 30 feet. I don't think Ruckus can get that far.
Fine, I'm gonna grab my head and drag him towards
But his
the edge.
strength is 18!
That's a lot. 30 feet!
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of
He's
feet.
a super orc! He's got a cape and everything!
30 feet, you still have your movement, though. So... Yeah, okay.
15 feet.
15. Well, no, because your total movement is...
6.
Cut in half is 3.
Which brings from 30 feet to 15 feet.
Yeah.
Yes, but you still can't throw a person 15 feet. You know this.
But when you get there, you can definitely grapple him and drag him.
Yep.
And that'll be Lux.
Yep. 25. He is my puppet.
Yeah. Okay. So you. Okay. So you grab him, put him in a headlock, and then just start dragging him by his head.
Yep.
With him flailing along behind.
This is how orcs do it. You're weak, you go off the cliff.
Orcs do it from behind.
Or the road, maybe.
Okay, and he...
It's a raiding party.
Yeah, he struggles and flails and whatnot, and can't seem to... You're dragging his head so fast that he can't get his footing, he tries to stab you, but I mean, it's a big hunk of javelin, and he's trying to do this while you've got his head, and he can't, he's not able to get out of there. That's
Ruckus is carrying face.
Yeah. Clank, you're up.
How far am I now from the dudes shooting darts?
Did you move that thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
My maximum movement.
So that would be 3 squares.
Yes.
It was 6 squares to a tree and then 2. So you're 3 squares from a tree and then 2 up.
Alright, that works. So I'm going to move my movement again, and then use my flame cyclone power to blast from the bottom of the tree, basically just like...
It's a good thing it's humid here, because jungles aren't apt for catching on forest fire style, infernos.
Exactly. So yeah, basically I'm going to stand at the bottom of the tree, and then it's blast 3, like, up the tree, essentially.
Alright, give it a shot.
1.
The one.
1! Hooray! So that's 8 versus reflex.
So, as you approach the tree, before you even get like a chance to engage your power, I'll just this guy, you look up and you're going to engage your power, and he throws a net down, and you are now netted.
No! The party has been netted.
So many nets, so little time.
Okay,
We're doomed.
the turn starts over again. Ruckus.
Off the cliff.
Alright.
You heroically jump off the cliff while straggling a guy.
I will use his body for landing if it's going to go that
I'm going to
way.
say athletics for basically wrestling with him because he's trying to not go off the cliff.
That's nice for him. 21.
21. Yeah, okay. You've got the headlock, you give a crush, he lets go of the weapons that he's holding, and then you let go, grab him by the midsection, and toss. He goes off the cliff, but about halfway down definitely manages to catch a root. And so he's not dead, but he definitely isn't involved in this encounter.
He's out of the fight.
He's out of the fight.
Alright, he's just going to do that. Motion, turn around, go after the next
He
guy.
did the whole, DJ Jesse Jeff.
Yeah.
Off the cliff.
Yes, Ruckus is going to do the turnaround, and he's going to just narrow in on the target and move forward.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's like some sort of unstoppable school guy.
Right, you're up again.
Well, so
You
what
are-
can I do about this net?
Yes, so you are netted.
Nothing. You are forever trapped in the net.
Did we find what trapped in a net works out?
Well, it's an ongoing effect, so I mean,
Okay.
does that mean I can just roll the end of my turn to save against it? Like,
Yeah, I guess because you can't move unless you teleport.
yeah, okay. Well, in that case, at the end of my turn, he threw a net down on me during my turn, so last turn I will roll.
Yeah, you guys will roll to save.
20. So the net lands on me, and I'm like, and throw the net off. All right, so then I walk it off. Walk it off.
Unfortunately, there was a clipping error, and the net landed on a piece of map that was sticking out, and then it despawned.
I won't be stopped by a tiny net. My ranged attacks are not useful. Melee.
Use intimidate to act like the mother and tell me to get out of the tree right now.
I don't think I will.
Now Clank's in there.
Come here! Get down from that tree! You have chores!
One whack the other boy with sticks.
I'm going to use an athletics check to try and climb the tree and see if I can get up there to engage them in some sort of... Thank you. Yay! That will succeed. So that's 17, so 24.
Wow. Okay,
First I thought it was a 7. I was like, son of a bitch! Robo-climb, engage.
Okay, so you toss the net off and crouch down, make a jump, grab the first branch, hack up with the back end of your kopech, drag yourself up until you've made your way all the way up and you are beside the guy now.
Going at me, will you?
Yeah, you're going to try and do a ruckus but off the tree instead of off the cliff edge. As at the start of the next.
Yeah.
At the start of the next.
Yes. This turn was just me climbing up a tree to get up in his face.
Yeah.
His business.
This is serious business.
Riswynn.
Right. Time to get out of a tiny net.
Well, no,
Tiny,
you had an opportunity to do that at the end of your last turn. So.
Perfectly sized for you.
Time to get out of a tiny net.
What is your roll?
6.
Okay, so make your saving roll for denetted, or your denetted.
She did. She rolled a 6.
Yeah, that was
last time.
Now
Yeah.
she's restrained this turn and can't.
I need to get out of the net now.
Oh, yeah,
But
you
now
can
she
still
rolls
do
a
other
6.
things. You just do them at a penalty.
You just can't move.
Restrained is you grant combat advantage. You are immobilized. You can't be forced to move by push, pull, or slide, and you take a -2 penalty to attack rolls. So she can do other things. I don't know if she's going to do it.
No one's in range for me to do anything with, so.
You don't have any more teleports or anything like that?
No, that was until the
That's only Jen that has the band.
Yeah.
You can do it's a combat/skill challenge. I'm going to say that because you're in a net, you're going to take a -5 to anything you try in a skill challenge, but
Okay.
give it a shot.
You're not very intimidating if you're pinned down by a net.
Right.
One of your STs.
Absolutely. Okay, well, you grab anyone this hole?
That wasn't like John getting an iced tea.
Sorry, I'm used to Jim pulling that shit.
Don't worry, the land's coming. The land's coming.
Are you guys still planning on bringing your... yes. First bring up your fridge and then bring it to your ass.
Yes, we're planning on bringing stuff.
Bringing a fridge?
Mini fridge.
Mini fridge.
Mini fridge! For some reason I just pictured National Lampoon Family Vacation style. It's like roped to the top of the minivan.
Tied on top.
That's horrible!
Tied the cat on top.
We're randomly dragging a Christmas tree behind you.
Okay.
Praise be to Moradine.
I will use. Try popping up the neck. No, it's far too easy.
Actually, it would be pretty difficult. You'd be able to swing.
Yeah, you wouldn't get a lot of swing.
Yeah, you
But
said
you do have a
Couldn't
cutting
say
weapon, at least.
Yeah.
No, that's what you roll at the end of the turn.
That's,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will use my intimidate. To limit them like their mothers.
Okay. You
She yelled at them like my dwarven mother used to yell at me. Which is pretty scary.
Dwarven mother's
well,
yelling.
you still get yep, roll it up. Over here, minus 5.
Alright. Let's do this.
Horrible! Better roll 20.
Only be so intimidating in a net.
It
You keep doing that to me,
danced from 20 to 16 to 3 to 8.
So that's a 3 plus 1.
It's 8 plus 1.
So 9 minus 5.
9 minus 4.
I'm going to bitches! You're going down!
Now roll to see if you escape the net if your turn is
You can have
at this point, with that failure...
No, I still don't get a fucking net. You don't roll it.
With that failure, basically what ends up happening is, as you guys are, struggling against these foes, you notice all of a sudden there are a lot more of them. The cavalry has arrived, basically. A hail of poison darts and nets comes out at you guys at a pace you can't dodge, and you're all immobilized. And
can I demand something? Even though I'm in a net? Can I?
I'm setting a hard DC for your level, and a demand would be probably like an intimidate, I guess. So roll an.
No, not even. I'm just gonna flutter. I just want to see their leader. I demand you take me to your leader.
You make the demand, but they don't understand.
Stupid non-common fucking jackals.
The natives bind your hands and feet and tie you to long wooden poles. With one native on each side, they pick you up and begin a trek through the jungle. After half a day's travel, they arrive at a small village built in a clearing amongst the densest of the underbrush. Thatched roof mud huts are interspersed with tense native skins. All around the camp, there are bones and skulls adorning every structure. As you near the center of the village, there's a large fire pit around which natives are dancing and chanting. They jump and cheer and make whooping noises as you are paraded around the fire. They raise the wooden poles vertical and pound them into the ground, displaying you like living statues. An old man makes his way out from the crowd. He is dressed in ornate layers of skins, paint, and adornments, with his long hair pulled up into an elaborate headdress. At his appearance, the jubilant celebrations die down and the crowd goes quiet. He walks over and looks each of you up and down slowly, his eyes inspecting each of you carefully. After a few minutes, he seems satisfied. He turns his head and bellows, "Umai!" A wiry teenager pushes his way through the crowd. Some of the warriors grunt at him and spit at his feet as he passes. The chief turns to him, then back to you, and begins to speak. The language isn't one that you understand, but does sound slightly familiar. Anybody who would like to attempt to roll perception?
Better not be giant, because I speak that bitch.
I am not perceptive.
17.
13.
Two of you guys? Zimmerman! It sounds very...
Oh! I totally know their language!
It sounds extremely similar, but somehow still removed from the noises that the Iron Cobra Guardian was making back in the jungle.
Did they bring our crap with them?
Yes, they took your weapons off you, but they do have them.
Okay.
The scrawny kid looks frightened of the sneers of his fellow tribesmen, but emboldened by the attention of the chief. He turns to you and speaks slowly in very broken common. Chief says you in territory of Gugu tribe. You poor warriors and ugly monsters. The chief interjects and some of the tribesmen laugh. Except that one. You pretty. Chief might keep you. You guessed tonight. Let poison leave your body. Tomorrow you come for supper. You don't like the sound of that invitation. He walks over to Clank. The chief walks over to Clank, says a few things. The teenager translates. You look like bad magic metal man from people who came before. We do not want your evil here. You be thrown off cliff. The chief waves a hand, and the tribesmen uproot the poles and carry you off.
So what's happened?
The three of you... See, I did actually write that I was on a good point. The three of you are carried to one of the larger mud huts. They remove you from the poles and doubly secure your restraints. You're tossed inside, landing uncomfortably on the dirt floor. Two of the villagers take up guard spots on either side of the entrance, and they cover it with a pelt. Clank, you're taken out to the back of the encampment to a large pile of junk and scrap, both broken pottery, splintered javelins, and other refuse. You feel a sharp blow to the back of your head and lose consciousness.
Not consciousness.
You needed that.
Hours pass. After an untold amount of time, the pelt in the doorway is pulled back and the teenager enters. He has a leather satchel that looks way too modern and fancy to have been made by this tribe. He opens it and pulls out bandages and healing salve. I'm here to fix your wounds, give counter to poison, make you healthy. So he walks over and starts attempting to treat your wounds, take out the darts and whatnot. You guys are bound, so you're not really going to argue much, but he actually does seem like he's trying to heal you guys up. Do you say or do anything while he does this?
Can I ask him his life story?
Excuse me, young man. Have you seen any dragonborn?
He follows the train.
Yeah, we'll go diplomacy, I guess.
Yeah. Make it nice. 23.
Okay. So, he seems a lot more at ease in here than he did in front of the sneering and jeering, spitting warriors. And the satchel looks interesting enough. So you go, how do you speak common? So he explains to you guys, he sits down cross-legged in dirt in front of you guys and begins to explain that there was once, or not too long ago, they captured another group of travelers. And among this group of travelers was a human doctor of medicine pursuits. And the chief had fallen very ill. And so they basically, since he was not a good warrior and deemed not good for anything else, they basically shoved him in a hut with the doctor and said, you, figure out how to talk to this guy and get him to heal the chief. We're going to eat his friends. So, they ate his
Eat people.
Yep. He doesn't seem very stunned by the question.
Considered it polite.
Were they humans, though? Because if they're humans, we got nothing to worry about. Were they humans?
They were humans.
Then we got nothing to worry about.
They are tastier than you guys would be.
It's funny because they think they're going to eat us. They don't even know how to cook. Ruckus, they don't even know how to cook.
Clearly, this kid is not appreciated in this town.
He continues on to say that basically he was locked in with the doctor until he learned enough common to tell the doctor to heal the chief. The doctor did, in fact, heal the chief.
Was they ate him?
To show their appreciation,
He didn't eat him.
they cut his head off first instead of boiling him alive.
Very generous.
They gave him a swift death instead. And that's where the satchel comes from. It was the doctor's satchel. So yes.
Amateurs. If you're gonna cook a human, you don't boil him, you roast him. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Boiling just takes all the flavor away.
Well, Marzia, active Riswynn? Anything to say or do with the...
Is he busy looking at Marzia?
He's sitting cross-legged in front of the three of you, talking to the three of you. He's watching the three of you, explaining his episode.
Is there any way I can slip my bonds while he's doing that?
He is watching what you're doing, so you can attempt to try and slip out, but we're going to say, what would it be to attempt to wiggle out of this?
Probably thievery.
Yeah.
Or acrobatic thievery.
Acrobatics even work for it?
No,
Well, you could contortion potentially out of it, yeah.
Depends on how they tie you up.
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Yeah, I'll try acrobatics, see if I can just wriggle myself out of things.
It is going to be a hard DC for your level.
Okay. That is a 21.
Okay.
Escape.
So you're
It's acrobatics check. Escape from restraints. Make an acrobatics check to slip free restraints. Escape from restraint 5 minutes. Base DC is 20. The DC is determined by type of restraint and its quality is set by the DM. In fast escape, you can make an escape attempt as a standard action, but the DC increases by 10. Success, you slip free with a physical restraint. Failure, you can try again only if someone else aids you.
okay. And when it says affected by the quality of the restraint, does it say anything there about what quality levels are or anything?
No.
Because it says base 20 plus what?
Yeah, so base DC of 20, the DC is determined by the type of restraint and its quality as set by the DM. So you'd be like, if they tied you up and they don't know shit, maybe it's 15.
Yeah.
If they tied you up and they're pretty good at it, but they just use basic rope, maybe it's 20. If they tied you up with magical super sensory rope, it's 25. Like, that would be up to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, in this case, I did say that it was going to be a hard DC, and when I looked down at the chart in front of me, it said 21.
I rolled like 22 or 28.
I rolled 21 on the dot, and it's not defended, is it?
That's correct.
Yes. So she would succeed. Yeah.
Okay.
On the hard DC.
I'm gonna be sitting in front of with my hands up. Yeah, okay.
No, he's watching as soon as, he's watching, he sees you start to sort of move around. He kind of laughs it off, and you know, everybody struggles. He continues to let start. As soon as he sees a hand come loose, he bolts from the tent, and the two guards come in. They hold you down, and they tie you back up again. So,
Stop, bro.
I have no way to try to escape the grapple of the guards. Because I was actually going to try to escape her, and then I was just going to sit there and be like, and just like him. He didn't know that.
He's a scared little teenager.
Are her hands tied behind her or in front of her?
Right behind. But no, okay. So you 2-on-1. They tie you back up, but a little while later he comes back in and he goes, "Look, I understand you tried to escape. Everybody tried to escape. That's okay. You need help. I need your help. You help me. I help you."
You said you're going to eat us. Why the hell would we help you?
No, I say we.
You said we. You count as we.
What kind of help do you need?
He's attempting to try to say that he meant the tribe eats people. He never got around to saying that I can help you not get eaten because you tried to escape and he panicked and whatnot. So basically what he ends up explaining after he asks you to please not make another attempt to try to escape or he'll have to get the guards again, he explains that his time spent with the doctor opened his eyes to the fact that, the world outside is a very different place and that eating people, probably that he basically got emotionally attached to the doctor and he wants to GTO.
It's true. You don't enjoy eating other people or being eaten.
Yes.
No.
You're like, not without rosemary. I mean, no. He's like, rosemary?
Eating people is fun.
So,
spices, yes.
Yeah, he looks over at Riswynn. He's like, basically, he's trying to make a friendship overture, and he's making the offer. He's like, look, I let you out of rope. Don't hurt me.
I wasn't gonna hurt you, but I'd get out of it myself.
Okay. He's not sure what to make of that, but he comes over and he unties your hands.
We eat our way out of the tribe. Amateurs.
God.
We pick up Clank, we're all like 300 pounds heavier.
We found you.
We could teach them new recipes that don't require people.
He indicates that they're very happy eating people. I'm not very happy eating people anymore. He basically says that he will help you guys escape and he will take you away.
Indeed.
Yeah, if you can speak the crazy Ching Chong language, why not?
Ching Chong?
It's from Harold and Kumar.
And also Stephen Colbert has
Yeah.
Ching Chong Ding Dong bit.
Yeah.
I like the one he did with his the Arab supporters of the Super PAC. That's the best one. Okay, so he turns to the big intimidating orc. What do you think?
You guys don't know how to cook.
Okay, but you help me escape.
That's the easy part.
Okay. So he goes to you guys and says, "Okay, I come back later. It's too dangerous to escape now. I come back when dark. I make so guards look elsewhere. And you meet at back of camp." So basically, he's explaining to you guys that he'll make a distraction. You guys knock over the guards and make for the back of camp. He points towards what direction that would be.
Where's our metal buddy?
The back of camp.
In Chief's hut. Well, that's going to end poorly for the chief.
Yes.
I didn't know Chief went that way.
Clank has now been reduced to sex box.
Finally.
For true purpose.
After a good meal, he was probably going to make Marzia into his son.
Yes.
But anyway. Alright, so
What are you trying to do? Just pull out of it.
He didn't like his eardrums.
Okay. Alright, so hours go by, night falls. The guards, they're chit-chatting back and forth with each other. They're basically the guards you've seen in any 3D shooter where you're waiting around the corner and you listen to them, right? You don't know exactly what they're saying in their Ching-Chong language, but they are they're guarding, but they're starting to not really know that into it. Suddenly you hear a loud, like a pop bang kind of sound. It's what you guys, not your characters, would know is like a firecracker off in the distance. And the guards look towards the distance and take a few steps away from the door. At this point, you untied your belt. So you guys,
We're sitting there
Yes,
tied up, so.
the thing is, you guys agreed to help him. You got each and every one of you to agree. So he untied you, but was like, "Don't move, don't go anywhere." Or well, I guess he says that and he leaves. If you guys in the interim want to try and make an escape on your own without the kid earlier in the day, you're welcome to. But if you
He's a
want to,
pipsqueak.
he is a pipsqueak. He doesn't look like he's going to be a lot of help in terms of battle.
I think he's gonna get eaten by the jungle in all honesty.
We did say we bring him with us.
He may get eaten by the jungle, yes. But so I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you guys want to try and make it out on your own, or do you guys want to wait for his distraction and his
For his distraction.
Anybody else try to escape him?
Probably has a weapon, so best to wait.
Yeah, we'll wait.
He probably has a weapon.
Okay. So you hear the sound. You figure that's probably the distraction or at least that's a distraction, and it's been hours. So you guys can try to make a break for it.
Do we know where our weapons are, though? That's the whole thing.
No.
Back of camp.
He didn't mention, you didn't ask, but I'm assuming if he's going to let you guys get out of here, hopefully he'll have your equipment. You don't know. But you can either try and go look for your equipment, or you can try to go to back of camp and grab Clank and,
I want my axe back. It's a fucking family heirloom. I want that shit back. I'll tear this camp apart if I have to.
Where's the meat with the
I'll go and eat the fucking chief.
Just reduce a little bit from like, bring me my axe.
She's just there with an arm.
No, meet the run.
Yeah.
He's probably got the stuff. If not, we'll come back.
alright.
If he doesn't, he becomes my new axe.
Oh no, whack! Nobody's whack!
Please stop.
Alright.
Lunch weapon, I guess it'll work.
So you guys get up, jump out, and try to, jump the guards or something?
Well, I think
Or try to
Ruckus is
run
like,
the direction?
headbang them.
I was pretty much do that. Hello! And drop him.
Alright, so this will be a shorter one, but we're going to do a second small skill challenge just for the escape portion of it.
Stealth. Murder!
Perfect plan.
What is stealth?
What's a paladin?
Oh God, no.
Have you seen any dragonborn?
No, use the diplomacy. We're not escaping. Okay.
Wait a minute. That'd be a lie,
That
wouldn't
would
it?
be a bluff.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best bluff ever.
That's pretty good.
I went that way.
Riswynn, you're up first. You're closest to the door.
Dun, 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 dun.
So the two of them have sort of walked about maybe 10 feet away.
So you want me to stealth out of the tent by making my own stealth music?
Correct.
That's if you roll 1.
Be crunk. Yes. The best crunk ever.
Terrible.
Speak properly.
Yeah, okay, I guess I will attempt stealth.
It's going to be tears.
Again, fucking dear. At least I'm not wearing cape this time.
Hey, you bastards, you tied me up. Now I'm going to take a piece out of your asses.
What were you doing now?
Stealthily.
Stealthily. Getting away. Maybe.
Actually, no, I wouldn't be stealthy. I'm a full-source dwarf. Fuck that noise!
Well, Wilder's dwarf can try to
Love
tiptoe.
from inside the hut.
It's not like it's not like you're specifically using any stealthy DP skills. You're just literally trying to tiptoe, like sneaking out of your mother's house, you know. But that's up to you. You can do something completely different. Go nuts. Go whatever direction you
Go
go.
bananas.
Go bananas. Go bananas.
I mean, if you want to make a beeline for the chief's side, you can do it.
We now own this tribe. What we're doing here again, stopping some dragon? We have a tribe now. They'll fight the dragon with their sleep darts.
That's how it works, right?
Dragon shows up and just like feathered with
The dragon guy's like, I did not see that coming!
Well, shit.
Fucking pygmies! My one weakness!
This guy has a lot of one weaknesses. Water above 36.5 degrees Fahrenheit. My one weakness.
It's not some crazy movie.
Robot chicken.
With there was
compound Santa.
Oh yes!
there was some sort of movie at some point. I didn't.
signs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, the aliens invaded Earth and their weakness was water.
They didn't realize the planet was 3/4
They
water.
shoot in the India, they did water one.
Yeah.
Because they were naked.
Yeah.
Never invade a planet naked.
No, but
That's the
Yeah,
first
that's actually
rule.
pretty good.
I'd like to point out that they did the exact same thing in Cowboys and Aliens, except they had loincloths. And I'm sitting there like, these people have space traveling ships. And
build clothes.
They're nudists, damn it!
And they're like, oh, armor, why would we need that?
Space nudists.
Space nudists.
Buddhists?
Buddhists.
Anyway, what are you doing?
Would you be using athletics to bash your heads in?
Yes.
Can I use acrobatics to make them trip into a bashing of heads?
If you want to basically use
Tag team
acrobatics, yeah, acrobatics to tag team.
You're gonna like lariat some guy with your legs and like flip
I
him?
just want to take the legs and run them and then they go, oh! And the Ruckus is oncoming
If
and
you want to give
brains.
him a +2 to his roll by rolling
Yeah.
an assist, go
Yeah.
for it.
Sure, why not? Alright, 17 plus 9. I think that totally works.
26.
Yeah, you're gonna bowl them over with or without the head bashing. And Ruckus goes next. Ruckus.
Into your open arms.
Yep, go for it.
26.
Oh shit!
Holy fuck. You went a little too overzealous. These guys definitely aren't getting up for a while, and one of them looks like he might not actually get up at all after this.
I told
You're not
you,
sure.
they're amateurs. Real orcs would have been on guard duty.
Alright.
Right. To the chief's neck. To the
Okay.
chief's house.
I am going to take a weapon from one of them.
They have machetes.
I'm taking both machetes.
Okay, you
Just because, if we need to do something, I have weapons now.
That sounds like a very orcish thing to do. Take weapons as you're going. Go for it. Okay, so you each have a machete.
I am disappointed by this machete.
It is a disappointing machete.
It's only one-sided.
It's only
They
one-sided.
put the junior guys on you.
One-sided.
Okay, so that leaves Marzia. Marzia, follow up.
Perception to spot where the back of the camp is, so we're not blundering around in the dark.
You mean you're trying to fight the chief, but aren't you?
No, we're going totally the chief's out of this room.
I'm helping.
Marzia, what?
And
I think it's this way, pointed like to the one point of light in the middle of the camp.
Yeah, you try to point these guys back towards the middle of camp, and you're trying to be. I'm sure it's over this way.
I'm pretty convinced.
You're convinced. They're not convinced that you're right.
It's okay, they just drag me over there.
Okay.
This is like that time in the fucking treehouse.
Yep.
Tree mates all over again.
Riswynn, you're back up again. So you've run forward. You took a dive. You took out their knees as they're going down. Ruckus follows up in behind with a slam of heads together, and then you get out of your roll and pick up and pause for a second as Marzia's like, I think he wanted us to go this way. And you're off to the races.
Not where Marzia pointed.
Is the kid anywhere near us?
No.
You don't see him.
Is there any hint of where our weapons might be hidden?
No, you just see a bunch of huts.
Trees and trees and trees and huts.
You've made a decent amount of noise. You don't want to dilly-dally.
Huts and trees and cannibals.
Wish I had my axe. Because I want to challenge the chief. Who writes to his tribe. In glorious combat.
Definitely they have that tradition, otherwise they're just like, retie them and rape them to death.
Okay, what's your first instinct? Go.
Death by sneezing.
I'm going
Are
to
you gonna
use
take off in the
stealth to
direction
find my axe.
Are you taking off the direction that...
No, fuck no! Frankie's been wrong the last 7 times and now they're out!
So if you run into...
I went the opposite way, Marzia boys!
the opposite.
Good. I'm gonna say you're taking off with a mission in mind.
That mission's find my axe.
Well, yes, but you have no idea where this camp could be.
Find that
But
boy
I will say you can roll stealth to not make any more noise and get caught as you go towards
Back of camp.
camp. Unless you specifically want to go directly towards Chief's hut.
You can't do this.
I need to know what Nilla Nerds is used for. I need to look that up.
Not this.
If you're trying to like outrun an enemy, you want to outlast him. If you're trying to do anything that you have to do for a long period of time, or persevere through things. Like for example, in the room with the closing walls last week, endurance. If you were like, I'm using endurance to hold up the walls, that wall wouldn't have moved. Like you would have been able to resist
Make
that
an
wall.
endurance check to stave off ill effects and to push yourself beyond normal physical limits. You can hold your breath for long periods of time, forestall the debilitating effects of hunger or thirst, and swim or tread water for extended periods. Some environmental hazards, including extreme temperatures, violent weather, and diseases, require you to make an endurance check to resist and delay debilitating effects. Blah, 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 blah.
You're tough as nails.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if you guys are trekking through the desert, you're going 40 days and 40 nights. These guys are going a week or two. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Speak for yourselves. Oh no, it is hot.
What's your
My
endurance?
weak elven constitution.
Just because it's like you aren't immune to all effects.
Yeah, you're not.
Sand would get in your gears, and we can make up whatever reason we want. But
It would really grind.
See,
It
what's
gets
your-
everywhere.
what's your endurance compared to hers, and that's how long it
Ow.
lasts in the desert.
Fingers.
Can I use Streetwise to navigate the camp?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
There's still a street.
Oh, it's the equivalent of figuring out,
Yeah.
main walkways. Hey, look at that! Look at that!
Back
Yeah,
up
I
down.
can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's just finding back.
That'd be a perfect skill to use.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like, no, Marzia, look, he pointed this way, and obviously that's the center of camp. That right
There's a
there.
path marker that
way. We came in from the path on the other side. This is obviously the back of camp. You see
Look,
that big
I know you
red
got a
flag
thing for the chief,
I see it now.
but we can deal with him later when we cut off his head and get into his people.
Yeah.
Right now, back to camp. Because Clank is in a rust pile. I'm assuming he's made the pile rust.
Said they were throw him off a cliff.
Yeah,
What if he's dented by now?
we kind of wanted in one piece.
Maybe he's missing an arm. Maybe we can use that as a weapon. Beat people with it.
Alright.
Hey, they're fair game. They wanted to eat us.
It's true.
Oh, trust me. I'll show them how it's done. Become their chief and lead them on to glorious combat
So,
for the right spices.
You basically grab Marzia by the arm and you go. You know what? You don't say any of the things that I said you said because that's taking way too much time. As soon as you roll these guys over, Marcia's, I think we want to go. You grab her by the arm and you're like, you just
This way.
Yeah, you march with a purpose.
You're wrong.
Shut up, Blondie.
You're basically dragging her as she's trying to be, all direction.
More of an impediment.
Ruckus, you're up.
I'm gonna follow these two.
I got the elf. Let's keep going. Running out of time here.
I'm gonna use nature to try and figure out,
He's waiting.
exactly what kind of jungle is this? Because we might be able to use some kind of berries or something.
Is it a good jungle or a bad jungle?
Is this a friendly jungle?
Yeah. Go for it.
Plus, there might be spices around here.
Maybe the monkeys in office.
14.
24!
God damn!
14 is still good.
14!
You have any worry that you had about the fact that you guys haven't eaten in an entire day has just been put out of your mind because you're like, no, there's obviously lots to eat around here. There are
Rocks! Bananas hanging right beside his head.
Yeah, you're looking around and you're like, there are enough things that are alive that I can kill and I can eat. That you've seen berry bushes and stuff. You are fairly sure that you'll be able to get you guys out of this situation with very little issue.
Good. To the back of the camp.
To the back of the camp. And with that success, you guys make it to the back of the camp, and Mbali is waiting for you guys. He's like, shh, and he sort of picks up a large duffel baggish kind of thing that as he picks it up, it rattles, and you can figure that's probably...
It makes axe noises.
It's
Choppa choppa.
It's equipment. So he gives you guys... Well, which one?
Yeah.
Am I still unconscious?
Yes. You're going to have to find a way to drag him, probably.
Drag?
Drag.
Oh, it was in the bathroom.
I know I was before in the bathroom.
That's John.
It's a duffel bag, and it makes axe noises when you pick it up.
Yes. Basically, you get to the back of the camp, and Buddy's there, and he picks up a duffel bag, and it makes all sorts of clanky noises, and it's not clank, it's your equipment. So, you get out the equipment.
Okay, we can go now.
These are the parts of your friend. We have to see frequent with this shit. That makes me chewy.
I blow their power to put them together.
You're not...
Why is his ass on his head?
You're not off by much. Clank has been knocked unconscious. And Buddy leads you to the junk pile where he is. And he goes, if we got to morning, they would have thrown him off cliff. Basically, because it was getting dark, and
They didn't want to go to a cliff edge in the dark.
they didn't want to go through a jungle in the dark. Lots of predators in the jungle at night. And then yes, you guys find Clank on a junk pile, but he is unconscious. And
Machete.
Time to wake him up.
all right. Despite the noises that you guys make taking out your equipment and whatnot, it doesn't look like anybody's following you yet. So you have to find a way to get Clank, to wherever you're going.
Machete, rope, over shoulder. Move.
Mm-hmm. The machete looks like it would break, but you find in this refuse pile there's
Axe, rope, plank, shoulder, move.
Well,
This is the first thing. Machete. No.
yeah. Well, you remember those big sturdy poles that they used to drag you guys in here?
Yeah.
There's one kind of broken in half and splintered. You get Riswynn to cut it in half with her axe. You take that, rope him around the end, and carry him sort of, running away from home bag style over your...
You're my homo sack. Homo sack plank.
Hose Clank.
His second
I hand my other crank hammer to Umbale. Hold it.
And he falls because it's too heavy for him. His skinny little runt.
This will give him muscles, make him less of a puny little.
Or he'll just drag it.
So just to give you an idea, weight of a warforge is between 270 and 300 pounds.
Okay.
Okay, how does carrying weight work?
My maximum capacity is 900 pounds.
900
It's heavy at 360. I have an 18 strength. I can bench press 900 pounds. Go now. I can't move.
Meanwhile, heavy for me is 200 pounds.
Crazy.
That seems a little bit.
It's
18
right there.
strength.
It's right there. It's auto-calculated.
On the cube.
My max is 500, so.
For me to feel like I'm carrying anything, I have to carry 180 pounds. Everything else is a light breeze.
He is a giant fuck-off orc.
You can fire.
Okay, so multiply your strength score by 10. That's the weight in pounds that you can carry without penalty.
Yes.
The amount of weight is considered a normal load. Double that number is the amount of weight you can lift off the ground.
Yeah.
If you try to carry the weight, though, you're slowed. Carrying such a load requires both hands, and you're not particularly effective. 5 times your normal load, strength times 50, is the amount of weight you can push or drag along the ground.
Yeah.
You're slowed if you try to push or drag more weight than you can carry without penalty, and you can't push or drag such a heavy load over difficult terrain. This amount of weight is referred to as your maximum drag load.
Okay. So he weighs in your what the second one, the heavy category. So you could lift him, but you won't be able to just throw him on your back and go. Yeah. But if you split the weight with one of these guys, between the two of you, you can just basically tie him up.
I'm just going to do the view of Ruckus.
Like a pole to
I'm doing a view of Ruckus. Umbale, scrawny, 90-pound when wet, carrying a crag hammer. Marzia, elf.
The dwarf. The dwarf can still help.
Yeah, but you have to do the right thing. It's like, poor Clank is going to be going like this the entire time.
Carry the legs.
Yeah, so you can definitely.
Yeah, don't forget
that
that also includes your own gear and so forth.
Yeah,
right?
But between the two of them, I'm going to say that
they can,
and because they're also not like, yes, you're trying to get away from there and not get caught, but I'm not going to make this difficult on you guys. You're making an escape.
It's very simple. Either we take you or we leave you there. So stop making it difficult.
Well, stop arguing.
Stop arguing or you're staying with the tribe.
It's not arguing. It's John asked how the rules work, and I explained them.
Alright, so we have other rules worked out. I'm DM rolling that if you guys want to cooperate, you won't be slowed down.
320 pounds.
You don't look that heavy in your picture. Sorry to say.
Yeah, I'm made of dense metal.
Yeah. It's also supposed to be dilapidated.
So
no, but it's still solid.
Yeah. You don't go that much above my heavy.
Right, but your heavy is something that
it's 360.
Yeah,
yes.
What he just said is if he was 180, you could carry him without just pick him up and carry him. So with the
I think with 2 people we're not slow.
Yeah, with 2 people you're not.
Yeah,
that's
we're going to carry 2 people. So.
You're going to carry 2 people. Okay, cool. So you guys get together, you pick up the Clank, and you make your way into the jungle, following Mbali, who seems to know the trails and whatnot reasonably well. And I'm going to say that we halt there for the night.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to say first, you guys travel about an hour's worth of travel. It's pitch black in the dark. Marzia, I want you to roll
a heal check to wake up Clank.
Roll perception.
I can do heal check to wake up Clank.
That was 18 die when you rolled.
That's like 5.
11.
Okay. Alright, so. Yep, no, that's fine.
Yep.
It's nothing like, yeah.
That's 11.
Yes.
You don't forget to use passive perception rolls, John. Because passive perception is
how naturally good.
If you're just walking around.
And passive perception.
Rolling is only if they're.
I'm still using 3.5 in my head. Right?
Yeah, so you can call for perception rolls if, the situation. Probably they are sort of paying attention while roaming through the jungle at night.
People are worried about being hunted.
Yeah. No, in this case, it was a very specific thing that I wanted to check for, and I wanted one person to check for that thing. So that's what I just called.
When we're far enough from the camp, we would like to try and wake Clank up. It's useless to be carrying the 320-pound mechanical man.
If he can walk on his own, yeah.
Well,
I can
do you guys, before we talk about it, do you guys want to try and get a few hours from the village and try to find a place to make a camp? Because you guys haven't eaten and you haven't slept in well over 24 hours. Well, maybe not over 24 hours, but at least bare minimum 24 hours.
Are we can probably do camp next week. I mean, it's not that big a deal at the moment.
Right, but it'd be a good place to stop off. If you guys want to roll some nature checks and try to find a place.
Yeah, let's try and find a place away from the headhunters.
Yeah.
That was almost a 1. Let's go back to the camp. That's the best camp around. 20. To find a place that they might not look for us.
Okay. So, you guys actually travel for 3 full hours because Enbali won't let you guys stop until he's satisfied that you're far enough away that it would be too large of an area for them to cover in a quick search. So you travel 3 hours out, you're quite exhausted, and eventually you find a pretty secluded spot at the side of a rock face so that you have one defensible position. And you set up camp against the rock face. Ruckus, I'd like you to make another nature roll to find something to eat.
That's 9.
That is a 9. Hold on. Okay, so you venture out into the forest, or the jungle just a little ways, not too far from camp because they haven't lit a fire, they haven't lit a cut, I assume.
Yeah.
And you find a bush full of berries that look like they would be.
They're yum berries.
Yeah, I'm going to take 10 on actually identifying the berries.
You've never seen these berries before, but you sniff them, you take a taste. It doesn't burn your tongue. Tastes kind of sweet. As far as you can tell, they're alright.
What does somebody have to say?
Yeah.
Somebody would know.
He said he took a 10, he didn't say ask him about it. If you'd like to ask him about it, next time. Alright, so for the round table, I want to do something slightly different this time. I want from each of you going around the table, one positive and one negative / constructive criticism thing each. Marzia.
The skill challenge of combat encounter was interesting.
Is that the positive?
Yeah. Not how I envisioned that would work, but doesn't matter. You guys rolled badly enough that it ended the way it doesn't matter. If that was a combat, you'd have been beaten to within an inch of your lives.
If it was a skill challenge, you would have beaten.
Hold off on pulls. So I opted to have you guys hold off on pulls instead of beating within an inch of your life, if you don't mind. So, is that positive or negative? Oh. Okay, alright. Riswynn?
I actually like the combination of the two because it was something that's never really been done before. And in all fairness, if we were in combat, I could roll twice. So there's a chance that maybe we would not have been beaten within an inch of our lives. My negative thing would be when the kid was in the hut and I was trying to escape. That would have been a perfect chance for you to let us sort of go and us make friends with him on our own.
Yeah.
Rather than just because you kind of pigeonholed me in a sense that I was going to be like sitting in front of hey, my hands are loose. I'm not moving though. Gives a chance for the kid to be like, okay, if she hasn't immediately struck me, maybe I can have a chance to talk to these guys just to build more character development.
Yep, valid point. To give you an idea,
just something to think about.
To give you an idea of the reason that I thought of it the way I did, is just that this kid's 16, and he literally is
terrified,
the worst warrior that they have. The reason that the other warriors are spitting at his feet and growling at him is because they're bullying him. He is the little nerd kid of the whole place.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
So, he was going in there to try and make an overture, but the very first thing he saw was the scary dwarven lady with an axe, who had an axe before, got her hands loose, and he was like, and he panicked and left.
Yeah.
So, I understand where you're coming from.
It's just something to play with. I had to play with in the back of your head.
Yes,
to go on.
That it is true that when I realized sort of 3/4 of the way through that I hadn't really given a lot to you guys to do I hadn't given you guys anything to do in the hut. So I was kind of just
just going
pushing forward.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Just it's something to think about for future things type thing.
Yeah, for sure. Try and come up with.
But yeah, it was fun. It was good.
Ruckus.
The good, the mix between the skill challenge and the combat, like everyone else said, was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted us to more think about it as a skill challenge than a combat, you have to give right off the bat. This is a tip as a GM. You have to give right off the bat this either feeling of, oh shit, we have to run. A dart in the back of the neck. The sun being, blanketed out by all the darts coming towards you. It's a little fight. Everyone's like, let's get the hell out of here. But because you tried to set up this beautiful thing of the headhunters, but the immediate reaction for seasoned adventurers are, well, they're just a bunch of humans.
We can take this guy.
Now, if there were baboons running towards us, or like I said, it's just this wave of people, we'd be like, no, I'm not taking, I'm Ruckus, and I'd be like, I can see a sea of people. No! Especially with darts that make me go slow.
Yeah.
It's just something to look at. Making skill challenges that people don't completely bypass for combat is difficult, as you saw.
Yeah, the interesting thing was I actually planned out doing either.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't really a definitive answer from you guys, so I kind of did both. Because honestly, I got stats for them and everything that if it had gone into full-blown combat, I had numbers and stats and their abilities and all that. They had the nets, they had the machetes, they had the javelins, the blow darts, and all that kind of stuff. I knew, what they had on them, how many they had on them. I had planned out the combat, and I'd also sort of planned various different ways that if you guys had been like, okay, well, 2 gargle, 1 repels down, or we make break for the bridge, or
I would never repel down a rope with humans that have sharp objects above me.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, rope! Damn it!
Well, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Unless Clank, I guess, or Marzia could just teleport into the water on the way down.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing also was that I was rolling to see if they would intercept you on your way to the bridge or after you got there, and they intercept you on the way.
I couldn't be at the bridge, I could pull an Indiana Jones.
Clank.
I didn't really get to do anything the entire time we were here, so I found that a little frustrating. It was like, okay, I'm asleep. So that's my negative.
Yeah.
I'm positive. I did like the attempt to make the innovative combination between the two, because that does play to our party a little bit better, because there wasn't really there wasn't a sense of, I didn't get the impression that we had to try and sneak around past them or whatever, like that. Mm-hmm. It didn't come to me as an option, so it was good that we had the opportunity to do, combat related things, because I'm like, what am I going to do? Diplomacy is not working.
Yeah.
There's no way that's going to work. Intimidate maybe might have worked if we rolled well enough.
That's one thing. I really hope we get to an area soonish where we know the language, so we can actually try to either bluff or intimidate or do diplomacy.
Yeah, it was like
you will. It's just it's taken longer than I expected to get
for this arc. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the arc, for this half of the arc.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys. Very beginning of next session, you'll start to get more and more ability.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a gradual thing, and there's a reveal coming up. Sweet, and more than one character time.
If my orc chieftain is around, we're all fucked.
Oh damn.
Have people discovered boots?
We've taken people's boats.
If I discovered you mean stolen, then yes.
If I discovered you mean, we found it tied up at that place we ransacked.
Did we gain any XP?
Yes, you gain shit tons of XP, but I'm going to have to calculate it and email you guys because it's likely enough to level you. So I would say, guys, go ahead and level to level 3.
Okay.
And I'll tell you exactly how much XP you have sometime in the week.
Sounds good.
All right. Well,
Student Valley.
Ballet. Yes, that was kind of fun to come up with the NPC. You guys are starting off with an NPC now, and
Yeah.
not it terribly useful in either. So.
Yes.
You guys stuck with.
Ruckus.
You guys aren't evil characters.
No, but Ruckus sees him like you would see a weak orc. It's like, lift this for me. If you can't, you're useless and you stay behind.
He's gonna step on my useless lackey roll.
Marty won't have any of that. That guy's gonna end up with like a loot in the back.
No one knows how he died. Just like a tree, like right to the chest. It's a mystery.
It's carved with Marzia on it.
With like little hearts and like leaves. Marty, did you
It's whittled the way her loot is.
He's choked with like guitar string, you know, like.
It's her new signature.
Luke String wrote.
She writes a new song and keeps singing it. But that time I strangled Molly.
Yes, and for some reason it always seems to be slightly flat on that one note because there's a string missing.
But I murdered Molly.
Molly.
Alright, wrap it up for the night.
Yep.